inspectors have visited the site of a suspected gas attack in Syria a fortnight ago. The Organisation for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons says it has collected samples from Douma and is now evaluating whether it needs to make a second visit to the town. Samples will be transported back to the Netherlands and onwards to the organisation's network of designated labs for analysis.
2 weeks ago, as you mentioned, that this alleged chemical attack in Douma happened. Just before the OPCW inspectors were due to go in, the US, the UK and France launched their airstrikes on what they said were the chemical weapons facilities in Syria. After that, the Syrians deemed it too unsafe for the OPCW inspectors to go in and do what they appear to have done now, which is collect some samples and then hightail it back to Damascus. So for that time, they've been sitting in a five-star hotel in Damascus, just kicking their heels, really. But of course, what the cynics will say is that this gap has given the Russians and the Syrians, if indeed they needed to, plenty of time to tidy up the site, to get rid of any trace of chemical weapons, and so the OPCW will have nothing to find. We will have to see whether or not they do find anything there, but of course their task is only half of the situation. They will only say whether chemical weapons were used, and if so, what they were. They will not apportion blame. So they will not say, as the West believes, this was the Assad regime backed by the Russians, nor will they say whether or not there's any likely to be any repeat. They are simply an analysis of the facts, the chemicals, the science on the ground. The politics, the diplomacy will go on.